Judges, are you ready? Very good. Well, thank you, Abigail, for that wonderful presentation. Our next presenter is Anna West with the College of Education in the Department of Educational Psychology. The title of the presentation is The Roles of the Home and Parents on Young Children's School Readiness. I apologize, I didn't have your slide ready. Now your slide's ready. Please join us.
Between 2 and 5 years old are considered to be a prime time for children to learn about the world, learn their native language, learn how to emotionally adjust, and develop cognitively and physically. This is considered to be a prime time for children to get excited about movement and have good and positive experiences with exercise. These 5 developmental domains are collectively known as a child's school readiness, or a child's behaviors and skills to succeed in school. The problem is that often whenever we think about the term school readiness, it is assumed that it's something that children learn in the school, in the classroom, with teachers and their peers. That the school system is responsible for ensuring that children succeed in school. But before any formal schooling begins and a child is socialized into the school system, a child first learns at home with their parents. A child's first teachers are their parents. Children will observe their parents doing things such as cooking, and they will want to join in because this is just how children are. They are naturally curious. Children will observe their parents exercise, and because they love to move, they'll just naturally join in. Parents are a child's first teachers, and the home environment, not the school environment, is where children learn first. My research seeks to understand how the home environment and parents both influence a child's school readiness. Children's learning, emotions, language, cognition, and physical development are measured. Parents are also interviewed to understand their daily routines. What types of activities do they do? How are children learning at home? The home environment is also measured, both the indoor space, the outdoor space, the types of toys a child has access to. All of these are important in a child's school readiness. My research is situated in a post-COVID-19 world. That means that the children who are participating in this study were born right before and right after COVID-19. They are of preschool age now. The parents who are participating in this study were also alive during COVID-19, and they were affected by the pandemic somehow. It is very important for me to take advantage of this historical event to understand how COVID-19 affected a child's school readiness as well as a parent and child relationship. Having this information can help me and other professionals develop programs and interventions to help those affected by the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Our next presenter is Mia Lin with the College of Visual Arts and Design in the Department of Design. The title of the presentation is No More Stroads, a Movement Towards Safer City Infrastructures. Mia, are you ready? Come.
Began, there were fewer drivers on the road, so global traffic fatalities decreased, but not in the US. In 2020, deaths related to motor vehicle crashes actually increased by 7.2% compared to 2019. 38,000 lives were lost. That's more than the number of undergraduates here at UNT. What's happening? Strong Towns, an expert in studying unsafe road design, has an explanation. They found that roads in the US often combine the qualities of fast speed roads, think highways, which have multiple lanes and large shoulders, with slower streets, which connect to places with pedestrians. They call this street-road hybrids, STROADs. Here in Denton, Carroll Boulevard is an example of a STROAD. It is designed to go fast, but in places where people are interacting with businesses and residents. When roads optimized for high speed, introduced in a complex environment, traffic incidents increase. And during the pandemic, there were fewer traffic jams, so drivers on STROADs actually drove faster, which led to an increase in traffic fatalities. We need to change our minds about how our city infrastructures and roads are designed. What if we can make clear this distinction between roads and streets, which keep traffic efficient, but pedestrians still safe? For my capstone project, I am collaborating with Strong Towns to change people's minds about city infrastructures. Through ethnographic interviews, I found ways to empower people to tackle the issues with unsafe road design. And from there, I am designing a digital platform that combines resources that are motivational, action-based, and accessible. The goal is to educate users on the detrimental effects of STROADs and giving them the next steps to influence local leaders to redesign infrastructures. With my research, we can all advocate for cities that are people-friendly rather than car-centric. Cities that with no STROADs in sight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. Our next presenter is Olabosala Victory Ariel with the College of Business in the Department of Business Administration. The title of the presentation is Deep Learning Nutritional Strategy, Mitigating the Effects of Incurable Illness. I messed that up. Let me try that again. Deep Learning Nutritional Strategy, Mitigating the Effects of Incurable Illnesses. Are you ready? Please come forward.
Make sure you're eating right, my mother would always tell me. For me, eating right meant eating my favorite food, rice. It goes with almost anything. Rice and beef stew, rice and chicken soup, fried rice, and even a national favorite from my home country, jollof rice, which some of you might know. Now imagine your favorite food becoming the cause of an incurable illness. Do you feel a tightening in your belly? If you did, I felt that a few years ago when a medical examination revealed that I had developed excessive androgen levels due to my overconsumption of rice. Now, we all have androgens in our bodies. It's basically testosterone in males and estrogen in females. It helps with your reproductive health, puberty, and all sorts of things. Now, excessive androgen levels are not terminal, but they have no cure and could lead to certain illnesses as I got older, except I actually eat right. My search for eating right led to the development of a tool. In essence, it's like a super mega brain that gives diet recommendations based on certain nutrients found in foods all over the world that could potentially reverse and if not mitigate the symptoms of these illnesses. It also considers specific individual attributes like age, gender, fitness levels, using choices, geographical locations, and many more to give you tailored diet recommendations that would actually meet your needs. My deep learning strategy actually learns about you. My research is important because traditional nutritional strategies, as you see in the image to my right, with little to no inputs and a disconnected processing layer, gives incomplete or distorted diet recommendations as output, the negative consequences of which we see in how a popular diet application that utilized this strategy recommended a mixed variety of nuts to a user just because he had no allergies to nuts. Meanwhile, he had kidney stones. That recommendation was the equivalent of a death sentence. If that diet application utilized my deep learning strategy with multiple inputs and a well-connected processing layer on the illness-fighting nutrients as well as specific attributes of that individual, that would not have been the case because my deep learning strategy considers specific attributes about a person to give tailored diet recommendations that could reverse and if not, mitigate the effects of incurable illnesses. Thank you.
And thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is Sakruta Tirumala Vanchimpuram with the College of Engineering and the Department of Computer Science Engineering. The title of the presentation is Blockchain-Based Solutions for Smart Agriculture. Are you ready?
Very good morning to everyone. Today I am going to discuss about blockchain-based solutions in smart agriculture. So first of all, why do we need solutions? We have some problems like hacking, data modifications and changes. Now here I have listed some of the hacking incidents that have taken place in recent years. Now in the water treatment plants, some of the hackers have planned to increase the sodium hydroxide and poison content. So if this was successful, like it was stopped, but if this was successful, then there would be more dangerous consequences. Now for these type of hacking problems, we need some robust security that needs to be provided. So that we are going to discuss here. So what is the existing problem? In the smart agriculture, many sensors are used for collecting data from the agricultural fields. Now what type of data? Quality of soil, quality of water. Now here the data is collected and sent to the research institutes for further analysis. Now what type of analysis they are doing? They are like nitrate contamination of soil and water is done here. So this type of data is very sensitive that is coming from the agricultural fields. Now in the existing systems, central and cloud systems are used. Now here more hacking and tampering can happen. Whereas my research works on blockchain. So what is blockchain? A blockchain is like a ledger system. That is, when we write something onto this, it cannot be tampered or modified. So this type of functionality is used into our current traditional systems. We are adding that to our it is added in between the source and destination, and the integrity is maintained. That is, whatever the source gets the readings, the destination has to be received. Now here the blockchain will take the data from the sensors, and from there it will convert it into a hashed data. That is, from that hash data it will go to central and cloud systems towards the research institutes. Now here we are not directly sending the data, but hash data is sent. So we are securing the data. So this is how blockchain is used in the smart agricultural readings. So that is how we are solving the problem of data insecurity. Thank you.
And thank you for that presentation. The next presenter is Alakanda Mitra. She's with the College of Engineering and the Department of Computer Science Engineering. The project presentation today is Agrodet, an artificial intelligence-based solution to lower pesticide contamination. Are you ready?
agriculture crop yield has been severely affected by different plant diseases caused by bacteria, fungi and viruses. These pathogens cause crop damage, which eventually affect the food security and cause huge financial loss. Farmers, they use pesticides to fight against the plant diseases, but too much use of pesticides is harmful. They include increased amount of pesticides residues in plants, in insect resistance and contamination of pesticides in soil, water and air. To optimize the amount of pesticides, the farmers need to know how severe the disease is. And my solution, Agrodate, comes here. It basically automatically and precisely identifies the disease and estimates the disease severity. It is an artificial intelligence based solution. It can detect 38 different diseases of various plants like apples, grapes, tomatoes, corns and so on. Agrodate uses a 5-block convolutional neural network in identifying those diseases. The network has been trained with 50,000 leaf images. When a plant is infected with the disease especially manifests on the leaves mostly, and the leaf color changes from green to brown, different shades of brown, yellow and white. This information has been used in our work to measure the number of pixels on the leaf area and the damaged area. And pixel thresholding technique has been used for doing that. Leaf area and the damaged area are calculated from the number of pixels. Finally, the ratio of the two areas defines the degree of severity of the disease. I was able to achieve close to 99% accuracy through my work. Right now, this Agrodate can be applied to green leaves, like normal leaves what we see mostly. In future, I will be incorporating more plants like variegated plants, azalea, boxwood, lilac and so on. I hope my solution Agrodate will help the farmers and to fight against the plant disease and to use pesticides in the optimum amount to lower contamination of soil and water. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is Syed Badr Duja from the College of Engineering in the Department of Computer Science Engineering. The title of the presentation today is Blockchain to Foster Trusted Prediction in Healthcare. You ready? Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Think of a day you fall sick. You develop symptoms like high fever, sore throat, or nauseating. Now you're not sure whether you're infected by COVID, influenza, or any other viral disease. So you decide to take medical advice. You go ahead and call up the clinic to schedule an appointment with the doctor and find out that your schedule is next week, not on the same day. And then you feel that your health condition might worsen. So now you decide to take an online advice through artificial intelligence, or AI. AI is a technology that records historical data to predict the future. Artificial intelligence can record the history of patients to diagnose your health condition. But now you think, can you trust AI? Can you trust the algorithm involved in it? Can you trust the symptoms or the inputs given by them? The answer is no. So now you think, what can make AI trustworthy? Can you have records that are tamper-proof? Well, blockchain is your solution. Blockchain is not only a cryptocurrency-based format, but also provides immutable record and trustable output with distributed ledger. The consensus-based mechanism to agree on a transaction gives high trustworthy value to blockchain. Today, blockchain is used in replacing banks and the voting systems. But it is yet to set a foot in complex applications like AI. Can blockchain help AI? That is where my solution comes in. I enable blockchain technology to learn historical data to predict the future. The trustworthiness of blockchain along with the intelligence of AI can be amalgamated together to produce a trusted prediction. I use machine learning models to record the symptoms and check the variance of symptoms to diagnose a health condition. My blockchain solution can provide you with a trusted prediction and diagnose your health condition for a flu or COVID. My solution can also provide you with detection mechanism for cancer or diabetes. Today, you could use my solution and save your time and relax at home to diagnose your health. Nurses and doctors, moreover, can save their time and do future research to develop more medical and clinical trials. Tomorrow, I look forward to develop more of such trustworthy AI applications with blockchain. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is Paula Kincaid with the College of Business and the Department of Management. The title of this presentation is The Dark Side of Social Exchanges. Are you ready? Let's pray.
Children between the ages of 12 and 18 experience sexual violence each year. And unfortunately, this is often perpetrated in our youth-serving organizations. As a management and organization scholar, we have a generalized understanding of how sexual violence occurs in our organizations, but we don't know how it is maintained over time. And if we want to eradicate this horrendous behavior out of our organizations, we have to not only know why it occurs, but we have to know how it is sustained in our organizations over time. So for my dissertation, I conducted a 2.5-year-long case study in which I investigated how a prominent sports medical professional was able to sexually assault over 300 little girls throughout his 3-decade career spanning 5 organizations. And what I've learned from my research is that sexual violence against children is sustained in organizations through a process called gaslighting. When someone is gaslighting you, they are using deceptive impression management tactics to alter the perception of reality. When someone is using gaslighting, they will immediately appear trustworthy. And they do everything they can to maintain that level of trustworthiness with you, because in the background, what you don't know is that they are systematically using individual, organizational, and societal weaknesses against you. And during this time, you will form a stronger dependence with that person. So when misconduct allegations come about, you will be more likely to believe them than you will the person claiming that they have been sexually abused, even if it's your own child. So with my research, there are ways that we can prevent gaslighting from occurring in our organizations. However, for me to explain all of the ways that we can do this, it would take way longer than 3 minutes. So I urge you to go read my research and find out how you can protect yourself from falling under the spell of gaslighting. The best time to protect our children was long ago. The second best time is right now. And in order to protect our children, we must address the gaslighting that is going on in our organizations. I'm going to leave you with it. It is my goal that through my research, I am able to give managers the tools and training necessary to be able to address gaslighting behaviors in the workplace. Again, we must protect our children. Thank you.
And once again, thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is Leslie Stewart Gordon with the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences in the Department of English. The title of the presentation today is Mad Scenes: Derangement and Despair in American Drama Since 1939. Are you ready?
A husband looks on in horror as his wife, high on morphine, drifts further and further away from him and reality. A young woman fights against her aunt's attempts to lobotomize her, to silence her by cutting a crazy memory from her head. A daughter begins the last evening of her life by announcing to her mother that she will choose death by suicide later in the evening. She does. These very brief synopses represent a few of the countless American plays that have been written about madness. And despite the fact that madness is a trope that we've seen on stage since the advent of drama, there is no book-length study that has been done to investigate representations of madness on the American stage. This gap in scholarship represents a critical oversight that I believe deserves serious attention. My dissertation will investigate the fact that these representations reflect social attitudes towards madness, attitudes that both reflect and were reflected by these representations and made a discernible impact on stigma and treatment of mad patients. Additionally, we can see the practical positive effects that studying drama can have on various groups of people. Drama therapy can be a useful technique when treating patients seeking therapeutic or, yes. And also the Shakespeare in Prisons program. These examples serve to illustrate the very real fact that dramatic text can intervene in our world in exciting and in therapeutic ways. And by studying madness within American drama, I hope to contribute to both the social science conversation as well as the American drama conversation, and helping to illuminate how these texts operate. Thank you.
Just as a reminder, these intermissions for the judges to compile their thoughts will be edited out of the video, but your cell phones cannot. So please take this opportunity to mute your phones if you would. Thank you for that last presentation. Our next presenter is Kaylee Cave with the College of Science in the Department of Biology. The presentation today is Shiner's Last Stand. You ready?
At my feet were the carcasses of sharp-nosed and small-eye shiners, some of the last of their kind. I took this photo, and these are hundreds of dead bodies from endangered species that died in last summer's record drought. The sharp-nosed and small-eye shiner can only be found in the Brazos River, and were listed as federally endangered in 2014. Threats to both species, including drought, are expected to worsen with climate change. And the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service determined that the sharp-nosed and small-eye shiner are likely to go extinct within the next decade. Now, what can we do to save them? The problem with traditional monitoring methods is that they can be costly, time-consuming, and labor-intensive. The fish must be handled after they are caught by traditional methods, and this can further stress the species we are trying to protect. What if we could detect endangered species without touching them? What if we could monitor them with just a water sample? Environmental DNA metabarcoding will allow me to do just that. Throughout the course of an animal's life, they leave trace amounts of DNA in their surrounding environment. This is environmental DNA, or eDNA. I can collect this DNA in water samples and use it for eDNA metabarcoding. Metabarcoding links the DNA in water samples to species and databases through the use of unique barcodes, like the barcodes in a grocery store. Metabarcoding these water samples will provide me with taxonomic lists I can then use to create models of the species present at the sites that I sample. Through modeling, I will not only discover where the endangered shiner species occur, but I will discover what other fish and even insect species occur with them. Modeling where the endangered shiners occur over space and time will illuminate what conditions are necessary for both species to persist and can inform future management decisions. But I am taking my research a step further. I will also create food web models from the data I collect because we can't prevent the extinction of the shiners without understanding the foundations or the food webs that support them. Freshwater ecosystems are experiencing the highest rates of biodiversity loss compared to any other ecosystem on the planet. So developing methods of eDNA metabarcoding in a system like the Brazos River, for the first time, can not only help the endangered shiner species, but species in other aquatic ecosystems around the planet as well. No one should have to take a picture like this again. Thank you.
And thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is An Dun with the College of Education in the Department of Educational Psychology. The title of their presentation today is Strengthening Academic Buoyancy with Self-Compassion. Are you ready?
In the picture you see behind me, there are two UNT students. To your left, there's Joe, and to the right, there's Ben. Now Joe and Ben, they have the same goal. Their goal is to tread the water of their education journey here at UNT successfully and graduate with a degree on time. However, there are hidden obstacles in the water that can hinder their progress. Here in the water, we have learning-related frustrations, confusions, stress, and doubt. And it looks like Joe has a harder time in the water comparing to Ben. Luckily for Ben, he has a floating ring around his waist to keep himself afloat. This floating ring represents Ben's academic buoyancies, or what we also refer to as the everyday academic resiliency students need in order to deal with pressure, setback, challenges typical in their daily school life. In my research, I look for factors that can strengthen academic buoyancy so we can help students stay afloat in the sea of daily pressure, deal with setback, negative feedback on schoolwork, threats to confidence, and recover from dips in motivation and engagement. And the variable that I would like to highlight with everyone here today is self-compassion. Self-compassion is our ability to treat ourselves kindly when we are confronted with our own personal failings and shortcomings. In our society, we were taught to treat family, friends, and neighbors with kindness when they experience difficult times in their life. Yet, we tend to criticize and judge ourselves harshly when we go through similar situations. And this self-criticism is actually pulling Joe down and putting him at risk of dropping out. In contrast, self-compassion can help negative feelings fade away faster, allow students to feel a higher sense of self-competence. As the result, they are less likely to fear failure, less likely to avoid learning tasks, and more likely to demonstrate higher intrinsic motivations. Because Ben practiced self-compassion, he can maintain his academic buoyancy throughout his education journey here at UNT. In the case of Joe, if he has a teacher, a family member, a school counselor, or a friend who can teach him about self-compassion, and he can start practicing self-kindness, embrace his own imperfections and strengths, then he would be able to deal with setbacks and challenges better. He will be able to persevere. He will be able to do his best in school. If there's anything that you take away from my talk today, I invite you to think about the relationship between self-compassion and academic buoyancy. Because I hope we all get to see Joe, Ben, and all the UNT students here graduate with a degree and eventually become UNT alumni. Thank you.
and thank you for that presentation. Our next presenter is Nirupama Valaru from the Toulouse Graduate School in the Department of Advanced Data Analytics. The title of the presentation today is How Accurately Can the Current Technology Interpret a Contract? You ready?
Hi, let's talk about Smith. Smith is into real estate and he rents out his property to individuals every year and makes a living out of it. Now, Smith has already spent 30 to 40% of his income towards legal services for this year, and he is in dire need of a commercial lease agreement. How can Smith reduce his legal costs? Wouldn't it be great if you could just put in the basic terms of the contract into a software and have a template generated? It sounds great, right? For a standard form of contract, the technology already exists. Now, for a more advanced form of contract, where the expertise of a lawyer is required, Smith should be able to do the same. Why is Smith not relying on such a technology? Why is he not doing that? Well, it's because the contract that is there is not being effectively interpreted by the technologies that is out there. Now, what forms the basics of interpreting a contract? The technology should be able to understand the missing clauses. It should be able to highlight the overriding clauses. It should be able to highlight the clause conflicts that are present in a contract. The technology should be able to understand the natural language in which the contract is drafted in. That is English or any other regional language that has been used to draft the contract. Now, the problem arises where the natural language or the terminology that is there used has the same term that is used and has different meanings in two different subjects. For example, let's take the term execution. Execution has different meanings in law and in computer science. Now, the computer can be trained to understand the English language. This we can do by converting English language into a more structured format that the computer will be able to read. My research comes into picture and it will be able to identify the different technologies that are out there to interpret a contract, and it will be able to identify the different ways in which the natural language can be converted into a programming language. Thank you.
and thank you for that presentation. Our next contestant is Deborah Frazenden with the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences in the Department of Sociology. The title of the presentation today is Do You Hear the People Sing? Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Think of a time you were forced to do something you did not want to do. Perhaps that something was trivial, or maybe that something was heavy, heart-wrenching, something that changed your life forever, like being forced to flee at a moment's notice from your homeland, a place you've lived all of your life. And now you're rushing out the door with a handful of your possessions in tow, as you are faced with even more difficult decisions, like do I board this boat of over 300 people, which is likely to capsize in the Mediterranean Sea? Or do I risk my life on foot as I walk for miles and miles in pursuit of safety and asylum? Now, if you're one of the lucky ones, you've made it to the other side, and you may have even been resettled in a new host society. Yet now you lie at the mercy of state and federal policies, which dictate not only your treatment, but the rights available to you as a refugee, an asylum seeker, or an undocumented migrant. At this moment in history, human rights are being negotiated at our borders, as asylum seekers are criminalized for attempting to set foot on U.S. soil, as the law requires, and while children are separated from their parents and detained in cages, all due to changing policies on local and federal levels. Now, this is not new. As scholars have noted, the fluctuating trends in immigration policy. At times, we welcome immigrants to our communities, and at other times, we deter them through institutionalizing anti-immigrant policies. Now, through my research, I've learned that refugees and immigrant groups are not the only ones who are impacted by the hardships of changing policies, but also the organizations which serve them, providing social and legal services. Now, in my research, I have investigated how organizational policies are impacted by the changing federal policies on local and national levels. And through my interviews of speaking with 60 people working in ISOs, or immigrant serving organizations, in both Dallas and Amarillo, and through observing the inner functions of these organizations, I've learned that federal policies do directly impact not only their funding, their programming, their goals, but also how they're able to provide services to their organizations and communities, thus impacting their missions. Now, the good news is that ISOs are also in the best position possible to advocate for policy changes and also push back against discriminatory policies. Now, when I share my findings with the leaders and direct service providers of ISOs that I've interviewed, I will not only emphasize their critical role as advocates in the immigrant rights movement, but also the strategies they may take as a collective network of ISOs working together in harmony to object and deter the discriminatory policies we have seen, because compassionate policy choices will save human lives.
Well, thank you for that presentation. Well, remember that People's Choice Award ballot I mentioned in your ballots in your programs? Easy for me to say. Well, now's the time to take that thing out. There is a QR code if you'd like to use that, and we've tested that. It does work. And we're going to take a short break after you vote, and we're going to provide you with refreshments. And those refreshments will be located down through these lower doors out onto the first floor. So if you would take this time to vote, either by writing your choice on that ballot or through QR code, we will have the Student Government Association outside waiting for those ballots to collect those as well, so we can determine who is the People's Choice Award winner. So let's vote, and let's take about 10 minutes or so. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would, we're going to ask you to leave the room so the judges can deliberate in private. So take your ballots with you, go enjoy some refreshments on the first floor, and we'll call you back when we're ready to go.
On the right, out the door and on the right, first door on the right. Yo, even my child. Good job. Dr. O'Connell? Yes.
Ladies, I hate to be pushy, but I need you to leave. Allow the judges to deliberate in private, please.
Okay, y'all made our job hard. I like it. I like it. I'm glad your job's hard. It's better than an easy job, I promise. I mean, what if I'd have just given you one good one? You know, we're like, well, and then, yeah.
Take your time. We have plenty of refreshments.
Okay.
So did you rank yours?
I haven't ranked mine yet.
I was just gonna, I would talk.
I think I had 4 that were better than
Hey, Steve, Wes here. Hey, I got your voicemail. We were on a break right now, so the timing was fine, and we should be finished up here by about 1:30 or. Sure. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. If, okay, well, great, I'll look forward to seeing you, then I'll try to be over there close to 1:30. Okay. Okay, it might be maybe 15, 20 minutes earlier, but whatever, so. Anyway, I'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so Dina, well, go ahead. You said last year that you kind of had, we deliberate, we choose our top 3, 2, 3, 4. How many of you got? I have 4 that are, I have a line that kind of above the line before. So that's how many I have, but I don't necessarily have those 4. So I wanted to talk with everybody. How did everybody else come out? That we all have a 1, 2, 3, 4. How many?
Yeah, I told for all of them, but I have the top.
Did you have the same line, like you had 4, or you had 3?
No, no, I didn't go that far. What I did, Wes, is I scored by each category, and I did a total for the whole thing. So then, my top.
Wes, how about you?
I have 2.
You got 2. All right, who wants to go first? Well, I have a close swallow, so who I have. So, or we can just go through every one of them, but all at once.
Yeah, I thought that one was nice. The guy.
I thought she stumbled a bit on presenting. PowerPoint to me was fair, it wasn't tied well to what she was speaking about. It's a little disjointed, I thought. She had the academic, but then she had the picture of the little phone, and she had the brain, but she didn't actually explain what all it did. I agree.
But she put her words, you're right. I thought she went into most detail on the process and how she was going to use it.
You did, and that would appeal to our panel here of science.
It did, and it did. That's why I gave her a much higher
It did.
score on that part.
No, but, and I have to be careful because that one and then the next one, Saeed, you know, there was jargon in there. We started talking about neural networks, blah, 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 and I was like, people, I mean, I've heard of neural network, people don't know what that is.
Yeah, and that's why I actually didn't rank Saeed as high. Because I noted his story. I noted that. That's what I wrote. Because he had like blockchain was a common word, you know, on the blockchain.
So I had 6 She was. Well, what other questions? So we're certainly on 410. That one's 7. So number 2, that was too early. So number 2 too early.
Actually, I liked number 2. I had number 2 as my 5th, and I didn't get her for 16. I thought her engagement was really, really high. And I was bouncing back about the depth she went into because I couldn't have anything too early to compare it to. So I kind of went back, but I liked number 2. Honors, yeah. I give her 16. She was 16 out of 10.
So Wes, your 2 are 10 and 7. So okay, so let's talk about 7 and 10. Let's just talk about it. So Saeed, there's a little bit of jargon in there. He had a good explanation of the problem and the solution. The PowerPoint was complex. It was quite complex. He had real good stage presence. What else did you have set?
I had that too. Things that bothered me was I wrote down the explanation of the blockchain. And I needed more of it in the head. So what are we going to do? To save dollars? To save doctors? It's just one way. I didn't think it was possible. That's the problem that I had. Because he didn't tell me anything that made a difference.
We did talk about saving the trip to the doctor.
But I wasn't convinced that his research was really tell me.
They wanted to see a slide again.
He kept saying, it sounded like blockchain was going to do. What was going to
We are making known.
That's the part I was stressing. But I did have very polished look. I thought he used
It'll,
some
in
questions.
about 2 weeks, we'll be sending them their individual videos. And there will be another whole video that replaces the YouTube live stream, and it'll be put on YouTube.
think he did probably better on all those parameters. That's my bottom line.
So that's number 7. We also had Kate, who talked about the eDNA process. And we can leave. So Katie got up there and had a good stage presence, very confident at the fish. She took a picture of the fish, had a connection with her. Some good explanation. She had good examples. She communicated clearly. She had a good story, PowerPoint tied well with it. Good stage presence. Engaged the audience well. I thought some of the here did not engage the audience as well. They did speak okay, but they didn't engage. Like, what did you have to say?
Yes. She was my number 3. I agree with everything she did. We used to host emergency on the area of art program. So I just go right watch the church. I gave her a 9 overall on the explanation. I thought it was really good, an 8. She was my 17. So she would be, based on y'all's feedback, my number 6. Number 4 and number 10 is my top 2.
4 and 10, okay, 4 about 10. Should be better. Speak louder.
Yeah, I watered down a couple of notches on that same thing.
Yeah, I said show
I agree
passion.
with what you said.
But that passion can sometimes come off.
In terms of credibility,
Yeah.
you know, she had it, but she had it.
What else did you have, Wes? Is there anything else to add?
I mean, my thing with this is, by what you think, definitely, you know, being a judge here, that's about because the application she has to is significant money, and that's not one of our criteria.
And to be honest with you, Wes, that's what I wrote down. I said she could have made a strong statement about the climate environment and impact on the environment. I mean, she could have taken that.
There's so many other ramifications to this thing, in terms of looking at the food chain, potential problems that things that developments could then be fashioned to global.
What made me think about the whole water, the cleanliness of the water, in terms of people.
Are you done?
No,
I'm not.
That's right.
Nothing else to go on.
That's right.
So we just need to get 1 or 2. Let's agree. Let's all get our top 2. What's your top 2?
My top 2 on my top 3 were
Come on, dude. We're trying to
4,
get you
10, and 11. Well, I think one of them we're going to get out. Nobody else liked 11.
I wouldn't. I like it, but not some of the others.
4 and 10.
But that shouldn't matter. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay, so your top 2 were 10 and 7. 10 and 7 for you. What were your top
4 and 10.
Well, everybody's 10. So that's good.
What were yours?
We're both, you're both 7 and 10. You're both 4 and 10. So 10 is number 1. We're done with that. So how are we going to do number 2? We've got 7 and 4.
That's a lot better than 7. And That's what she's going to do.
Okay, you're going to be the spokesperson?
Yes.
Yeah. General comments, one of the things that's important for me is that the exercise they did is very important. You guys have to do that in the business world every day. Therefore, they need to practice this and be this serious because they still have to make a pitch for a $5 million contract and they have only 3 minutes to do that. You not lose the contract. Yeah. Elevator pitch. Yeah, elevator pitch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Money talks, nobody walks.
All right. Money talks, nobody walks. Okay. Remember that. I'm going to write that down. Write it down. Money talks, nobody walks. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're still like
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you, and thank you for participating with us today in the 3-minute thesis competition. I'd like to thank the Graduate Student Council for helping us today, and we have 2 representatives with us. Where are you located? Thank you. If you'll stand and let us see you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, we have a number of faculty in the audience. These faculty have mentored these young researchers and helped turn them into professionals. Faculty, if you're here, please stand and let us recognize you. Thank you very much. This couldn't have happened without faculty, I guarantee you. All right. Next, I'd like to talk to the judges and get a consensus opinion about what they saw in your presentations today. So let me bring the microphone down, and who's going to speak for the judges? Dina Sanchez.
Thank you. So we definitely wanted to say thank you to UNT, to Dr. Opong, and to Vesta and the rest of the faculty and staff for having us here today. It's been an honor and a privilege to be a judge on this panel. And we also wanted to say that it was a very tough decision. As you can see, we had to delay a bit because we actually needed to deliberate and really figure out the choices, and the contestants really made it a very tough choice. All of your research is so valid and so interesting and so compelling. Each one made me want to talk with you all afterwards and learn more about this. So all of these are very exciting things, and it's hard to believe what's being accomplished already with each of you in your research and in your departments. So that was very exciting. We also wanted to say that this experience is a great experience for all of you. This really helps prepare you for the real world. All of us here as judges, we are doing these types of pitches and preparations every single day. There are times where we have first 3 minutes, first 30 seconds to make an impression on an executive, a CEO, and much more. And so we wanted to actually let you know that this is something that will prepare you for the real world and really help you get ready for those pitches you have to make in order to persuade someone that your research is valid and that it's going to have legs and move forward in the future. So great work to each of you on all of your research and all of your accomplishments, absolutely. We also wanted to say that with this, not only with helping you in the future with all of these projects that you're working on, but that with this actually takes you forward and helps you to really learn how to validate your research and how to utilize that in order to persuade others and influence others to do their own research. So this type of work is very inspirational, and we wanted to commend all of you for all of your participation. And I know it's a lot of hard work and a lot of prep behind the scenes, not only for hours, but days and weeks ahead of this competition. So kudos to each of you on that. So again, great job, and we thought that all of your work was really exciting. There were many times where the slides were so compelling that it made you instantly interested and wanted to learn more. And also in your presentations, we noticed that there was a lot of confidence, enthusiasm, a lot of brilliance, and a lot of passion for what you do. And as someone who I actually have hired quite a few analysts, I know that that passion that comes across in interviews is one of the key factors in making a decision. If you're passionate about what you do and what you believe in, it shows and it moves you forward in your work. So thank you all so much. And again, it was a privilege to be on this panel as well.
And thank you, judges. Researchers, this is more than just a contest at the university. This is part of your brand management as you move into professional lives. Keep in mind that we will provide you with a video clip of your performance in about 2 or 3 weeks, and that should be mailed to your email account of record. So moving forward, I guess we want to find out, Dr. O, do we want to know who won this thing? Yes. Well, let's do that. It is my pleasure to announce that the People's Choice Award goes to Syed Bujadujo. If you'll remain up here, Syed, and we'll call the other winners. The runner-up. Do we have a drum? Thank you very much. The runner-up is Alabu Solo Adio. The check is in the mail. Ladies and gentlemen, a hearty congratulations with applause. The first place winner is Kaylee Cade.
Congratulations, Kaylee. This is exciting, and I'm sure you have had a lot of fun today. Contestants, you are all winners. There's no question about it. You are all winners. And I'm so proud of you. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And please help us to fill this Lyceum here the next time we do this, all right? Now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, judges. Thank you very much. We have the privilege. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I'm looking forward to one day when we will multiply this here by 5 or by 10 so that we can be able to get that. All right. So we're going to take a few photos. I think, Mike, am I missing anything? We'll take some photos. We have all of you guys together. We'll also take photos with that.
I think we need to thank the union staff and the audiovisual people.
Union staff and audiovisual, thank you very much. Yeah.
In the studio, we've got our 3 NTTV people. Thank you very much. They may not look like it, but they're also our professional photographers. So if y'all will stand here and smile for the camera, we're going to take still shots out of the camera. Dr. Opong, will you stand by Kaylee and let's get a picture? I will, okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, pretend snap. Judges, would y'all mind coming up on stage and standing behind? Yes, if anybody wants to take pictures, y'all are welcome to take pictures too. Yes, yes, yay! Very good, thank you. All the way around this way, yes. And then we're going to ask all the contestants to come up after the judges so we can get a big bulk picture. I see you. The good part about doing it this way is we can pick which one all of your eyes are open in. That's perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile, and done. Good job. Can we get the rest of everybody else to come up too?
All of you contestants, come on down, please. Let's give them a
Yay! We started with 22 contestants and we got it down to these 13. We are all very, very proud of you. Thank you for trying and coming. Yeah.
Is it okay? Can you fit us in? Yeah. Closer? Okay.
All right.
That's okay, you guys.
Okay. Everybody look. 1. We're looking at this camera once. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now let's do this one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you all very much for coming.